Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica.
So it's time for us to do our May wrap up. Summer's starting.
Yes.
Mandy's about to get out of school, so let's talk about it.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about getting out of school. I am very excited.
I know. So these are going to be our top 5 plus our favorite audio for the month in order. So how was your reading month? Because mine was crap.
My reading month was really great. I read 28 books and I watched the off-campus series a lot.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know. Do you know how many 5 stars you had?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9.
Okay. So I read 20 books, which compared to what we normally do, we know it's still a lot for a lot of people. And whatever you read, no matter what, is amazing. For us, for me, that's a low number.
I know. I'm shocked because when I saw I
Mhm.
had 28, I was like, oh, I bet you Jessica's going to blow me out of the water.
No, it was that trip. I mean, I was just trying to be present on my trip, so I didn't read a lot. But just in general, I don't know. May was just an interesting month, but I only had 3 5 stars. So choosing was very interesting. I had to go to some of like my 4s and 4.5s, but
Okay.
so we're gonna talk about that. But okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I got a hair on me. All right, so let's start with book number 5 for
Well,
me.
hold on.
What you got? Oh yeah.
Hit that subscribe button and make sure you go check out our Brave video, which was featured on Wednesday. And all you have to do is comment on that video to be entered to win. We're doing 2 giveaways from that. So we'll draw 2 names. One of our lucky subscribers will win a copy of One Wicked Weekend by Marie to heart. I'm so sorry. The kitten is climbing up my leg and I'm wearing leggings. So my apologies. I was really trying hard to power through that. And yeah, Ruby would like to say hi.
Hi, Ruby.
And the other one is not Ruby, but Rudy's Heart by Lori Ryan. So
Okay.
make sure you go check out the video so you can be entered to win.
Okay, perfect.
And winner will be announced on June 11th. We'll probably do a post for that. I didn't want to put it in a video because I don't know what our schedule is going to look like. We will still have our videos out. I just don't know about the timing on all of them when we'll be recording because Jessica, if you've watched our other videos, you know she's going to be in the hospital with her daughter. So we're just have to kind of, I want to plan around that and not have to
Yeah.
worry about like not following through on when we said something would be announced. So winner will be announced June 11th.
Yeah.
Watch our
Yeah.
YouTube for that.
Yeah, and all of her videos should come out as normal. I think even if she's there for 2 weeks, her fiance will come down and I'll come home on the weekend. But we'll see because I don't like to be that far from her because I've done all of her medical stuff for so long. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Kind of got to hand the reins over to him at some point, but I don't want to.
I can always grab Karen to fill in.
Karen, tell me what Jessica read this week. Yeah, that won't work. Okay. Anyhow, let's start talking about these books.
Okay.
Book number 5 for me. This was a very dark month, guys. So book number 5 is a very, very dark read. This is Deprivation by Ellie Sanders. This was book 4 in her Brethren Lord series. This one is probably I think they're all very, very dark. And these are the ones where the girls are maimed by who we call our heroes. They're obviously anti-heroes, but this one is a lot darker because our heroine is psychologically tortured by this guy. And so that is Grace. Now, Grace starts out, we've seen her in the other books. Her dad did like a coup with these Brethren Lords guys, and she is collateral damage. She is taken by the Brethren, and she is, I think, 18 at the time, and she is held until her 21st birthday in this white room, taken from her parents. Her parents are killed, but her dad's killed. Her mom is put into like the whorehouse, but she's going to be auctioned off on her 21st birthday. In the meantime, her mom and dad's friend, Antonio, who was like a flame for her mom back in the day, comes and visits her all the time. He brings her a plant so that the room isn't like quite as bright white and all of these crazy things. And she looks forward to his visits because it's the only person outside of like the woman that takes care of her that she gets to see. But she also knows not to trust Antonio. On her 21st birthday, she is auctioned off. Lo and behold, it is Antonio, her mother's friend, who who buys her, and he gets her virginity, and then he takes her home and he puts her in what he calls his kennel. He has three other women who worship him, and he is their master, and they are his pets, and it is his ultimate goal to train Grace to be one of his pets. And it's wild, guys. So, very, 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 very dark. Very dark. Like, I can't stress that enough. It is dark. So, okay.
Okay. So book number 5 for me is not dark.
Is it an L. Kennedy book? Yes. Are they all L. Kennedy books?
No.
Okay.
No.
3.
Well, 1, you said that we can't use rereads.
No.
So
unless it's
go.
like audio coming out and you've read it already, like it's a new audio. But yeah.
I think you
And then you can use it for the audio.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So my number 5 read for me for the month of May was The Play by L. Kennedy. Sorry,
Okay.
my eye was itchy. So this is Hunter's book. As I've said before, Hunter is different in the series than he is in the books, and it'll be interesting to see how exactly that plays out. So in this book, something's happened in the prior book, and Hunter is now celibate because he doesn't want anything to go awry with the team. Like, he's taking the hockey team very seriously. So he's like, during the season, I'm going to be celibate. And then we have Demi, who's also a student at Briar U, and she finds out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her. And it's not just a boyfriend, he has been her person since they were kids. They started dating when they were early teens, and they've been together this whole time. And so it's pretty devastating for her. Her and Hunter are paired up together in college. And so the two of them see each other quite a bit and have become friends when Demi decides that she's ready to have a rebound. And who better to do that with than Hunter? I really, really enjoyed it, obviously.
Obviously, because it's on your top 5.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about book number 4. We're staying in the dark. For me, we're staying in the dark. Okay, so this is Your Heart Still Beats for Me by Corey Zahara. This is about our heroine, who is Phoebe. Phoebe is she was in a car accident a year prior to the book starting. She is a paraplegic. She can't feel her legs, or she has some feeling, but it's like a nerve thing that happened. And because of this car accident, she had to have a heart transplant. She wakes up in a room, cold, naked, on the floor, has no clue what happened to her. And she sees that there's a guy also on the other side of the room who is knocked out at this point. And she sees that there is a large knife waiting by the door. And there's a voice that booms overhead and says, "You don't deserve the heart that is in your chest. It belonged to the woman that I love. And yeah, you don't deserve it. So either cut out your own heart with that knife or perform a certain act on the sleeping individual across the way. And if you do that, then you get to live another day." And she reluctantly does it. It's like timed, like she has to do it in a certain amount of time. And she feels horrible about doing it, but she has to. The guy across the way is Mercer. He is in this cell with her. He is mute. He writes notes on Post-its. There's something that happened to him and he cannot talk. And so he and her are kept in this basement for quite a long time. And every day a certain situation comes up that they have to survive through together, which causes them to bond. And yeah, this book was wild. This book was awesome, but it was wild.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm going dark now, too.
Okay.
It's quite the leap for my L. Kennedy book. So it's Wicked Sanctuary by Jane Henry. We have Stalker and Captor Captive.
Yeah.
So in this, Ashland has been stalking Bianca for about 6 years. So he's a dedicated stalker. And he realizes that she is in some serious danger. So he decides that the best thing to do is to take her. But that's kind of a hard sell to like kidnap somebody and be like, I'm holding you hostage for your own good. But he does that. And to make her feel better about the whole situation, he also takes her cat. So, Ruby, have no fear. The cat comes too. Okay. So she then decides to escape because why wouldn't you want to do that? And yeah, it goes from there. I really really like this Irish mafia stalker, captor, captive one.
Okay.
Also, I just want to point out if anybody has noticed in the videos that Ruby does kind of have like a little bit of an eye thing going on. She has been to the vet.
Okay. All right.
Well, Ruby's upset that I shared that information. She made a little cry sound, but we want the people to know that you're being very well taken care of.
Mm-hmm. And her eye's fine.
Yes.
Okay. She'll grow out of it.
She was found in like a lot of hay. And so the vet is suggesting that it's just some like irritant and it just kind of has to work its way through
Okay.
and that there's really not a lot that they can do for it. He did send me home with antibiotics. So if it gets worse or both eyes close up, I'm supposed to start using it.
Okay.
But so far it is slowly getting better.
That little tail is just so cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do love our Ruby. Also, I would just like to point out that I did not name Ruby after any of the off-campus characters. And Allie, Cat would have been perfect. But my son named her and I didn't disagree.
That's very grown up of you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't even
This
concerned
is her
with that one.
favorite place to be is on my shoulder. I don't understand it.
Honestly, if you had named her after one of the off-campus people, I wouldn't have noticed. I wouldn't have cared, so I wouldn't have known. Or I don't care, so I wouldn't have known. I would have had no clue. The other people might have, but I wouldn't have. So I would have only known had you told me.
You don't care about what?
The off-campus characters. I don't care what I don't care. So I wouldn't have noticed what their names are. Like I don't even remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ruby,
Yeah.
do you have a
So
long-term
I
plan
wouldn't have
here?
known had you not said anything. But
Okay.
if you had named her after one of the characters. Okay, I'm gonna talk about my book. Okay. So book number
Please.
3 on my list is Nobody's Darling by Sarah Blue. This is an Omegaverse, but it is a MC. Obviously, it's why I choose. So this is about Lily. Lily belongs to the MC. Her stepdad is the president of the MC, and she's about to come into her first heat. And so her stepdad wants her to find a pack. Now, he wants her to find a pack outside of the MC that she grew up in. He wants her to find some bougie pack out there and make a life for herself away from the motorcycle club. She doesn't want to do that at all. She wants this beta guy who is in the pack, and that is Axel, and he's our little bruiser. He's a fighter, and he's cocky, and he and her have this connection, and she wants him. But also a bunch of people come back to the compound because another MC has been dispersed, and so there's people who are coming who are about to join her MC, or her stepdad's MC, and that is when her brother Tate shows up again. She barely saw him growing up. Like he wasn't around. Like he's older than her, so he left. And they really didn't have much of a relationship at all. But he comes back, and lo and behold, there's a connection between them. And then there's also the big, strong, silent guy, Cash. There's an age gap between the two of them. Like she's 20, he's like 32 or something like that. So there's a bit of an age gap with them. There's some drama in the club, and she's an Omega, and she needs a pack, and they don't want her staying in the MC. So it becomes a thing. So loved it.
Okay.
Okay.
Ruby's attacking the stand again, so hopefully she stops doing that. If not, I will relocate her.
Okay.
Okay. So my next one is Dodge by B. Shabakan.
Yep.
You were looking at me funny. Okay.
Oh no, I was looking at the side, the thing,
Okay.
the turny
So Dodge needs a nanny for his 1-year-old. And Autumn has just arrived in town. She gets off a bus and realizes that all the money that she spent for the down payment for her apartment was a scam. There is no apartment building. So she wanders, walks way down the road a ways until she comes to this bar and just is going to try and sit there and regroup and figure out what to do. When the bartender lets her know that this guy needs a nanny and that maybe that could work out. So she ends up getting herself a hotel, goes and interviews for the job. And she is in college in early childhood education, so it kind of seems like it would be a good fit. So Dodge agrees to hire her. And yeah, this is an MC, which it's real MC, so it's very good. There's breeding, he's pierced. I mean, it's everything that we know and love in her Books.
I did download that for the hospital.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
nothing says a hospital read like that.
Nope, not at
Oh,
all.
and this is the first book in the Devil's Tide MC because claiming the called Princess, she has
It's
marked
0.5.
as like the 0.5 for the series, but we do see those people in this. And so I'm very excited for the rest of the series. And the next one I think is coming soon. She just did the cover reveal.
Cool. Okay, well, book number 2 on my list is His Stolen Queen by S.T. Morse. This is a vampire romance. This is about Alice and Acheron. So in this world, vampires have fated mates. To find your fated mate is few and far between. Acheron is one of the kings. There's like 5 or 6 kings in this world, vampire kings. And he is one of the kings, and he is living his life of debauchery. Apparently, it's very, very, very rare for a vampire king to find his mate as well. And so he's in the middle of an orgy, as one is, when his heart starts to beat. And that signifies that his fated mate has been born. And so on the day that Alice was born, Acheron's heart started beating. Now he looks for her for 18 years. Typically in this world, when you hit 18, then something like connects where you can find your fated mate. But he's looking like he doesn't think that she's human, because they kind of live in their own little realm kind of a situation, like it's like parallel to ours, and he can go back and forth between the two. So humans are like the lowest on the totem pole, and he is just in denial that she's a human. But when she turns 18, he gets visions of what she's doing in her life. And so like he sees her on her graduation day at college. He sees this guy come up to her. He doesn't pay much attention to it. He can feel her feelings. So he feels her feelings of friendship and love towards this guy. So he doesn't think anything of it. Then he gets a flash to like her wedding day. And he realizes then that she's human, or he realizes she's human at this point. And Alice is, she was a foster child. And this boy that we see that comes into play here is one of her foster brothers. She was with their family for a short period of time, and then she got moved into a different foster home. But they have stayed close ever since. And that is who she ends up marrying. And so they're actually in a happy marriage when Acheron finds her, and he's like, I'm just gonna, I give up whatever. But once he sees her, one day when he actually finds her, he can't walk away from her. And so he finagles a situation where he is this billionaire and he's bought this penthouse. She is an interior designer. And so he finagles her into his life as like redoing his penthouse for him, and pushes the situation. And I loved it. Obviously, it's number 2. I loved it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So number 2 for me was The Muse by Julie Ann. And so this is the second book in the Chain of Lakes series, but you do not have to read the first one. So in here we have Flynn, and Flynn makes a stupid choice and takes a car that he is detailing for a joyride, thinking the person's going to be gone for a while, and they were not. And they threaten to turn him into the cops. And he has already been in prison before, so he does not want to go back and does not want to have that strike against him. So he agrees to what Rupert is proposing, and that is he's going to be a muse for his wife. Flynn has no idea what a muse is. Rupert does not give any directions on what this means. So he's basically thrown into this job and has no clue what he's supposed to do. Doesn't even really know the job hours or anything like that. Rich people, right? That's kind of what Flynn thinks. So one day, him and Rupert's wife are out. He takes her to a gallery to pick up this painting, and he sees June. June is on a bike tour. She leads the bike tours, and he is smitten. Flynn is not great with words, though, so he really kind of stumbles through all of this, and it is just so good. Like, it is very much like opposites attract, the bad boy, good girl, all of that, and I loved it. One thing I really like about this series is just how, like, crazy different the premise is, and so it just really makes the whole story feel really fresh, and it's Julianne, so it's definitely got that angst to it as well.
Okay. All right. So my top book of the month. I've already had this author on this list for this month, but she's on here twice. So this is The Darkness Beyond the Daisies by Cory Zahara. This is very dark, very dark. I've had 3 out of the 5 books. Nope, 4 out of the 5 books this month are dark. So, do with that what you will. And like some of them are really, really dark. This is about Jolie. So Jolie was abducted. Her father was killed. She was abducted, and she is given as a slave, is like it's like a human trafficking thing. She was put in this box, and when the box is opened, she's in a home with a family, with a little girl, a boy, a teenage boy, like she's 18, he's 17, and their parents, and she is given as a gift to the 17-year-old boy. Now we're told that the couple, the father and mother, found out about this human trafficking situation, and they didn't have the money to the money or the means to do a lot, but they could save one person, and that is Jolie. And so they say that she's a gift to their son Woodrow, but they said that they have to say that in order, in case somebody was listening. But they bring Jolie into their family. They treat her very well. She is actually a companion to Woodrow. Woodrow has multiple personalities. He has a little boy that lives in that is a part of that of DID, and that is Woody, and he's like a 7-year-old little boy. And then there is the one that nobody will talk about, the personality that nobody wants to come out, and he is Hell. Literally, like that is his name, Hell. And this book is told in flashback. So that is the past we see. We go from present to past. So that is the past. In the present, we see that somehow Jolie was put into a human trafficking ring again. Somehow they were separated. And now she is, Hell has shown up, and he is demanding to buy her. He is demanding to have her, like he's been looking for her. He finally found her, and she is brought to him, and the person who is like the owner of her at this point, because it's like a brothel almost type situation, and the guy is like, well, you don't want this one, she's damaged, she has scars all over her body or all over her face. And he's like, I'm the one that put the scars there. Yeah, I want her. And so he takes her away from there, forces her to marry him. He's not very good to her. But we're told this story, like I said, in flashbacks, and we see how they got to that point and then what happened. So very, very, very dark. Cannot stress that enough, but I loved it because obviously it was my number 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready for my number 1?
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
The Mel Kennedy book?
No.
Oh, no. Is it Laura Pavlov book?
No.
I don't know. Oh yeah, that one. I forgot you read that this week or this month, because all that L. Kennedy stuff happened afterwards. So it's been a long month. Okay, anyhow.
Okay, so
Okay.
I read, I read Shamed by Rin Shear. This is my number 1 read of May. It's going to be a top read of the year. I absolutely love this. So this is the continuation of the Broken Souls series. This is the last book in it. So okay. If you want to have absolutely no idea about this series, then don't listen to this review. It's not a spoiler, but if you really just want to completely go in blind, I guess you find out who the characters are, but that's pretty easily available all over online. So in the first book, Jacob is found guilty of a horrendous crime essay against Jennifer. But the name of the book is wrong, so we know that he is actually innocent. And that book deals with the fallout for him once he gets out of prison 10 years later. The next 2 books are how other people's lives were impacted on what happened that night. And this last book is Jennifer's story, along with Mace. 2 characters that, based on the first 3 books, I never thought I could like. I was crying in the very beginning, like the very first few pages of this. I love this book so much. It is got difficult topics to read about, so make sure you check your triggers for this. But this series is amazing, and I absolutely love this book. Like I said, top read of the year for me. It will definitely be on that list at the end of the year.
I love how you turn yourself like switch back and forth, and then you get to your top one and you just decide you're done. You're done. You'll just wait for me to do it. Okay.
I forget when you do it and when
Yeah,
you
just
do
wait
it.
like a princess. You just wait for me to do
I'm
it.
sorry.
Okay. No. Okay, so now let's go to our top audio.
Yes, let's.
Yeah, so my top audio for the month is one that just came out this week that I listened to, and it was, I'd already read the book, but I hadn't listened to the audio, obviously, because it just came out, and I loved it. So that is Soft Tissue Damage by Lilith Vincent. The audio for this is done by Bryant Walker and Daphne Fields. I don't know that I've heard or read much by them at all, listened to much by them, but I did enjoy this a lot because it landed here. So this is about Elena and Colin. This is book number 2 in the Deadly Heart series. It comes after Fear Me, Love Me. We see the characters from Fear Me, Love Me pop into it, but it's kind of explained a little bit why they're there. You don't have to have read Fear Me, Love Me in order to read this one, or listen to this one. So Elena is she's like 18, 19, somewhere in there. She's working 3 jobs. She has been raised by women who call themselves her aunts, very religious, very pious women. They make her go to confession. They're not very kind women. They actually are making her pay back every penny they've put into raising her since she was an infant, and they're withholding the information about who her birth mother is so that she will continue to pay them. So real upstanding citizens these women are, just cruel cruel women. And so she's working around the clock, doesn't really have much of a life. She does live with a roommate, but that's about as far as she's gotten there. One night there's a guy at the diner that she's working at, that is Cullen, and he sees her running around with her shoe untied, and Elena's just not, she's never been taken care of. Like nobody's ever really loved her, taken care of her, looked out for her. And so he kind of stops her and he ties her shoe, and for him that was kind of it. And for her, she was just, taken aback by this guy actually caring enough to do that. And of course he's attractive. But then her boyfriend comes in the door and he's like, "Hey dad, what are you doing here?" Well, that is Cullen, is her boyfriend's dad. And so come to find out, he has another child at home that is a toddler. She's very little. She's around a year old. And he finagles it to where she comes in as his night nanny a couple nights a week, so, and takes care of the baby, and he also puts cameras around the house so he can watch her. And he does everything he can because she's still a virgin. So when she gets close to consummating her relationship with the son, he interrupts that quite a bit. Finds out that she's got birth control patches. No, he's going to swap those out for vitamin patches. And he's going to make it to where she's the full-time nanny, and something starts between the two of them. So, age gap, boyfriend's dad, obsessive, possessive, and a little murdery.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My top audio of the month was The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. So this is Gigi. Gigi is Garrett and Hannah's daughter. She is in college at Briar U, and she is training really hard to make the women's hockey team for Team USA. She really wants to go to the Olympics and win gold. So she has been training for that. And there's some obstacles in her way. She also would like to get out from underneath her dad's shadow. And she meets Ryder. Her and Ryder did not get off on the best first start when they met a few years ago when they were teens, but he is now at Briar U because the college that he went to has been defunct. And so all of the people that went to that college have now been absorbed by Briar U. So the hockey team as well. The hockey team's going to have huge cuts. Garrett Graham is still around the hockey world, and he is going to be doing a camp that a few of the guys really want to make sure that they are picked to help with. And he has a horrible first impression with Garrett Graham, and he's desperate to correct that. And so him and Gigi team up reluctantly, kind of, where he's going to critique her and help her get better at hockey, and she will then put in good word with her and with her dad and get some introductions going where he can show Garrett that he is not the flake that Garrett thought he was. So obviously the two of them are going to start to fall for each other, and I just really, really liked it, and the audio was fantastic.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, there you guys go.
Thanks
Those
for
are
coming.
our top 5 books plus top audio for the month of May.
Yeah, tell us in the comments what your guys' top books or top audio were, or
Yep.
both in the comments. We love to hear about what you guys have been reading as well. And then you can check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and sometimes Wednesdays for new videos from us.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.